back to the Gentleman's Bureau. Today's Thursday, October 29th. No sleep, boys. What's up?
No sleep till Brooklyn. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
No sleep till Brooklyn.
Hell yeah, that's an awesome, tasty jam, dude.
This shit had to pump people up. You know, back in the day.
Yeah, especially people that were heading to Brooklyn, and it came on the radio. They're like, oh, "I'm going to Brooklyn."
You'd have that one friend
people
like
leave
Jed.
Brooklyn. They don't go to Brooklyn.
You would have that one friend like Jed that like anytime you did have to go to Brooklyn, he'd be like, "Dude, I got the perfect song," and he would just keep saying it, and then he would just keep putting it on, and you just get super fucking annoyed.
Jed gets the aux, and he'd be like, "Dude, I got this."
Yeah.
Where are we heading? That's right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nah, then they'd I'd switch off to different songs, and then as soon as somebody fucking yawned, I'd be like, "Hey man, cut that shit out." Boop. No sleep till Brooklyn.
There we go.
My point exactly, Jed.
Exactly. Be awesome.
High energy.
I'm great. I'm great on road trips, by the way, in case you didn't know.
I'm ready to sleep all the time.
Bird. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Dumb and Dumber. Story of my life, boys. Story of my life.
Seems like that's everyone's story of their life anymore. Like, everyone's fucking getting dumb and dumber by the fucking minute, dude.
Well, we don't need to know anything anymore. All of knowledge is at our fingertips, man. We don't need to know anything.
That is the issue.
How many times a day do you Google something? Dude, I'm gonna say at least me 3.
At least I'd say about 3, yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like a good fucking number, 3. And that's like shit that like, I mean, is it good or bad? Because it almost turns it into now you know that information, be it as useless as it is.
Yeah.
But like you do know information now. Like today, the wife was making some kind of ground turkey stew, or not stew, but it basically essentially was a stew. It was like a healthy type of thing. And she was like, "What does it mean if the onion's like green?" Kind of. And I was like, "I don't know." So I Googled it, and I was like, "Why white onions turn green?" And then I was just like, "Damn, didn't know this." And then relayed that information to her, and yeah.
Wait, you got to relay that information to us now. What is it?
Oh, it's just like if they're old. I don't know. There's sometimes it just turns green. But it's a good sign of it being old. And I mean, I kind of figured that, but I was just like, oh, maybe it's just like freak occasion, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're good. Most of the time, it's like every time I Google something like that, it's like, oh, you're good, man. You know, like keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. The other day, I stubbed my toe, and I was like, I Googled like, why does my toe hurt? And it's like, you have fucking cancer. I was like, oh, thanks, man.
Christ.
Appreciate it. Thanks, MD. I thought it was that ingrown toenail that I plucked out of my fucking toe with a knife. But yeah, sure, cancer sounds right. Pretty accurate, too.
Okay, here's the most useless thing that I looked up the other day.
Yeah?
This was just yesterday, because I didn't Google anything today. I looked up wild chickens in Alaska. Apparently there's like wild fowls or hens, I guess, in Alaska, whatever. And they are a fall hunting season animal. I got something from a friend of mine that was like, hey, I'm out getting these fucking chickens or whatever, and I was like, well, let me see. What about? Because I was like, there's no way there's wild chickens in fucking Alaska. That doesn't make any sense. Well, I was fucking wrong. Yeah.
That actually reminds me. Do you guys know about the greater prairie chicken?
I'd
Yeah,
like to know about
so
it.
back in like Mark Twain's day, that's how I found out about this. Was like reading his well, actually, it was Nick Offerman put out a podcast or like an audiobook or something about called Twain's Feast. Him and some friends were trying to like recreate this list of food that Mark Twain missed when he was doing his year tour of Europe. And part of the list was the Greater Prairie Chicken. And apparently, back when like Mark Twain was growing up and going through life, all across Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, Indiana, were like millions and millions of these Greater Prairie chickens, somewhere between like a regular chicken and a pheasant, somewhere
Okay.
between the two, right? And these things thrived, obviously, in the prairie. So when we started doing like little patchworks of like, prairie, farm, prairie, they loved it, man. They had plenty of food. They had plenty of places to like, make their little houses in the prairie and shit. And their population zoomed. But once
Yeah.
we started replacing all the prairies with farms, and there was no more prairies, now they're hard to fucking find. They're basically extinct.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you used to be able to go out and bag like fucking 10 of them on a slow day. But like now it's like you have to go to a farm where they have them in captivity, and it's like, wow. In like course of like 100 years, we took this animal from like millions and millions to almost nothing. It's crazy. And now
Well,
nobody
we've
even
done
knows
that
about
with
it.
a lot of animals.
That is true. Rip the buffaloes.
Yep. But at the same time, it's like I remember we used to talk about this in like junior high, that if we had nothing but prairies, we could generate more food than farms. It would just be we'd be scavengers basically,
Yeah.
gatherers, I guess. Yeah.
The problem is there's no like super quick and efficient way to harvest like all those, berries and roots and shit.
Yeah.
That it doesn't, there's no way to like do that like you can corn and shit.
Mhm.
But hey, this is something that China's been working on, and I think actually maybe not China, maybe Japan. Somebody's working on it in the Eastern Hemisphere. It's a stacked farming. So you'd have like a 3-acre field, but then it'd be a fucking sky rise of just field, 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 field.
I've seen a little bit of that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And
From
they're
what
not
I've seen,
like,
it was Korea, I think,
might have been Korea.
and it
I
was
don't know.
like they were growing micro grain, like micro vegetables, I guess, like under what was it? I don't know. Everything like feeds down. It's really strange like that. Like the water, because like beans will release a certain protein or a chemical into the soil, and then it leaches through the water, and it'll go down to the next thing, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I watched a little bit of that. I know Korea struggles with land just like Japan does. Um, South Korea, not true Korea, but South Korea struggles with land. So that's what I seen was Korea was doing that, South Korea. But I wouldn't be surprised if Japan starts doing that soon, because like farmland is pretty hard to come by here in Japan because it's all like mountainous and shit everywhere.
Yeah. It'd be cool. We could turn all of Nebraska into one big like multi-level farm. We'd have plenty of farming for like the entire country.
Yeah, or
Just
like
all of,
Wyoming. There's like
what
nothing
else?
there. Right?
Well, no. Here's the difference though. Wyoming's beautiful, and it's got like a lot of bluffs and shit. But
Cheyenne.
Nebraska is just fucking flat as a pancake. It's ridiculous. Like, I knew as soon as we crossed the border from Nebraska into Wyoming, because it instantly went from nothing to wow, this is actually kind of cool. Like instantly, right off the bat, I was like, "Are we still in the fucking Nebraska?" And I looked over and I was like, I saw the sign, and I was like, "Oh no, we're in Wyoming now. Cool."
Wyoming is just like, well, I guess we'll have to push the natives out again, right? We've done that enough. We can do it again.
No shit.
Sorry for you, 3-feather squats while bull. I don't know. Squatting bull. You gotta leave again. Shit.
Terrible.
The ones that went to Canada got a better deal. I'll tell you that.
Big facts.
Big facts.
I sucker.
All
Kick
right.
that shit, Marky.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
All right. So what I was saying was like I'm gonna wrap it out.
So
No.
what I was saying was that the other day I went to Canada and I had something to say.
That's too good. Oh shit. No, but yeah, Jed, you were saying something about Justin Trudeau the other day. Something
Yeah.
about like
So
he's a big pushover is what I think, and he's kind of a Nancy
Pussy.
boy, and he got away with Indian face. But you had something else you were talking about.
yeah. So there's a conspiracy theory out there that you see. So
Shit.
Justin Trudeau
So I just okay. Maybe this was a bit ago, but I seen the news here in Japan that China had recreated Kadena Air Base and were using it as like practice drills attacking it. I was very concerned about that because Kadena Air Base is maybe 20 miles from my house. Not even.
Yikes. Hopefully they test really well and they're very accurate with how they hit the airbase so that they don't hit you.
Jesus fucking Christ. I was very
Gee,
concerned.
Jed.
Thanks, Jed. Well, I can tell you this, China doesn't do anything good, so I'm fucked. The
Well,
airbase is probably way better off, actually. I'm screwed.
how the hell did you manage to hit everywhere around the Air Force Base, but not hit the base at all?
I don't know. Like, that was in a long string of things they've been doing lately. Like, but the only thing is like they're releasing the footage, so I feel like they're releasing like this big propaganda footage. So I feel like maybe they're setting out like this warning, like, oh, we'll attack, don't fuck with us, and it's like, China, you can barely feed your own people, fuck off. You know what I mean?
You can barely feed your own
Right.
people.
Everybody's dying of coronavirus, and you're lying to the rest of the world. Come on.
Yeah, whatever
Didn't they
happened to
bounce
that chick
back
that
though?
said she was gonna blow the whistle on
Yeah,
that?
I've heard otherwise. Like they they say they've bounced back from the corona, but at the same time, people are coming out of China from cities that are corona free, and then they go into like Taiwan because Taiwan only allows their citizens back to Taiwan right now, which is awesome. I like that. Or they go into like Korea or they go into Japan and it's like, oh, you're testing positive for corona, and they're like, oh, I was just in China and the whole city is corona free. They just tasted like fucking 9 million people and said everybody was okay. Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit.
It's crazy, man. You never know with China and the suppression of
Yeah, dude.
news and
Manipulate their
shit.
money, manipulate their fucking stock exchange, manipulate fucking everything in the world, manipulate the fucking rest of the world to believe that they're not genociding millions of fucking Uyghur Muslims. Yeah, fuck China. CCP.
Yeah.
Fuck the CCP.
Yeah, it's crazy what they can do. And it's like all the knockoffs that they make, the um the the false god damn it, what's it called? There's the knockoffs. God damn it.
I know what you're
The
talking about. You're talking about like the
like fake brands and shit. I don't know why I can't come up with the fucking
yeah, like knockoffs is a good like I think it's the same thing basically. Like those fake Louis Vuittons that you can buy from China in bulk, and then they sell them
yeah.
in like, you know, fucking places all over the place. Like Middle East, I know they buy a lot of like knockoff shit because it's cheap, and then they resell it all throughout the
Yeah.
Africa.
Mhm. And just takes away from the actual brand itself.
Yeah. Imagine how much France is losing because people are buying fake knockoffs of like Louis Vuitton or like
Yeah, that's why people are pissed at China because China lets them get away with it too.
yeah,
They're just
yeah.
like, like like Trump's actually the one who's been like, hey, you're gonna fucking crack down on this, or we're gonna stop fucking buying. Like we're gonna stop importing this shit. He's just
Oh,
like,
I think we're headed, and this is not even like just Trump or Biden or anybody. I think altogether with the political atmosphere of America, we're going to end up heading to a decoupling with China, and we're not going to do business with them at all eventually. And anybody that does business with them is going to be like put on some sort of like blacklist situation. I think. I really think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be another
trade war.
trade war, Cold War
Yeah,
esque thing because that's what we had with Russia. And look at what we
well,
did to Russia. The rubles were worth garbage, so they bought Pepsi at the price of warships.
Well, whatever. I don't know. Whatever you got to do, I guess, to
Actually,
get
I
everybody
just
on
heard an
board.
interesting fact. So, a shitty apartment in Russia is like $150 USD, and like a nice like luxury apartment is like $500. And as somebody who's like living in an apartment right now, for 615, man, that'd be fucking nice.
Yeah, but you got to remember, you make like 600 rubles a month, so like
Yeah.
$200 a month or something like that.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
I
know the
understand what you're
exact
saying. Like
exchange.
the
Yeah.
the economy's bad, but like if I was still making the money I'm making now, but living in Russia, that'd be dope.
Oh yeah, you'd be living in Moscow, which is like, or maybe St. Petersburg or whatever, and that's like the tier city. Like that's the highest level city, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything else is kind of uh, I wouldn't say. I don't want to offend Russians, but like it's lower tier. Like they don't even realize how shitty their cities are because they haven't seen, first world.
Yeah. First world.
Yeah, renting is gonna be huge in the States pretty soon. Like, uh,
I
because
hate it.
you've got no assistance um, for these forbearances, these pre-foreclosure homes and everything. So like people are gonna start losing their homes soon, because there's already so many that are pre-foreclosed on, and you're gonna get companies coming in like Invitation Homes, and they what they do is they come in and they take the homeowner out, and then they basically property manage. They own it, they manage it, and they rent it out. So like you got a big decent house, say let's say you got a big decent house, right? They they buy the home from you because you're in a pinch. You're foreclosing on your home. You're like, fuck. So they come in and save the day. They're like, hey, um we can get this off the record. You'll never have like a foreclosed on your record. We'll buy the home from you. It's gonna be at a cheaper cost than market value. But do you want that foreclosure on your record and get basically no money? So people are like, all right, I guess I'll take the deal. And they've been doing this lately, and it's gonna be huge. It's gonna get even worse. And it's like a lot of homeowners are gonna be renters now. Like it's getting to the point where the rich are just keep getting richer, the poor is getting poorer, and it's like you can in real time see it. It's fucking freaky. It's
Yeah.
like they don't want people to own a home. That's what it almost seems like anymore. It's like they don't want people to own homes anymore. They want people to be consolidated in these rental apartments or in these they want to keep everybody just compacted in their little space. You get a little space, you get a little space, and they just upcharge the rent
Yeah.
and then
Plus, it's passive
and then
income.
Hmm.
well, yeah, Jed, that's why I'm trying to invest in rental property currently. But
Yeah, yeah, same here.
uh,
It's a really good idea for for anybody that's thinking about it.
yeah. Um, with invitation homes too, like you could call them and be like, because they're technically like they're the landlord, they're the property manager, so you can be like, hey, the heat's not working, or hey, this window's busted, I need it fixed. And you won't hear back from them for a week because they have so many homes on their portfolio that they don't have time to care about fucking Mark Rowe and
Hmm.
and his little issues. It's not good.
Exactly. So okay, with that, do you think that there's going to be homes that have so many problems with them that it's going to be financially better to get rid of those homes, sell them off, rather than fix the problems and then we have like this new cycle of like reusing homes and properties and things like that. Do
I
you
don't
think
know
that's a thing at all?
what usually ends up happening. So like you have to look at history, right? So what has happened before in history is in the cities, uh, suburb areas, almost, you've got these rich people that have basically a large house that you could subdivide into a multiplex, right? And
Hmm.
what happens is during these hardship times, like during the pandemic, of what was the last
2008,
pandemic we had? No,
or
there was
are
the
you
last
talking
pandemic
about?
we had. What they do is they move out, right? So they move out of their homes. That's like in the big city, right?
Hmm.
What they do is they'll sell it to like an investor like Invitation Homes, right? And then they'll rent it out to like two, three people maybe. And then when everything cools down and the prices, because the thing about it is we don't have it's supply and demand. We don't have a supply issue. It's a demand issue at this point. Like people, um, because once those rich guys move out, they sell it to like a person like Invitation Homes, and then the people come in, they'll start renting it from Invitation Homes, and then when everything cools down, the economy gets back to normal, the housing prices go back up, then they'll come back in, and then they'll buy the home back. Which it doesn't really make sense, but there's a way to do it where you can make money. Um, but you just gotta learn from history. Like I don't know. We've seen this happen before, so I don't know.
Oh, so you're saying that this divide's gonna grow, but it will shrink again?
Yeah, it'll
Maybe,
work itself
possibly.
out, hopefully. Like hopefully, but the issue is like in 2008, you know how we had the kind of a crash in 2008, right? Of the housing
Hmm.
market and everything. Well, like the Fed or the Fred, FRED, they never balanced their budget out. And so what you've seen before 2008 is, they hit this bubble, the bubble bursts, it goes down, but they pay back their basically they balance the budget before the next bubble. Well, since 2008, all we've been doing is climbing. Like we barely we didn't even take a dent out of the debt. So like the debt
Hmm.
just kind of stayed and rose, and it's just ever since then. And now we're hitting a pretty huge bubble, and it's gonna fucking burst. And like I don't know, people better get ready for it, because it's not gonna be
Yeah, I
fucking
get you.
good.
I get you. Bring it back because I'm here in Japan. They talk about the bubble a lot because it's a big reason for a lot of things that go on here. Back in the 80s, Japan was soaring because they were um, manufacturing was at a sky high, and unemployment was at a sky low, and everybody was making money hand over fist. It was ridiculous. Um, America and Japan were coming very tight with each other, right? Everybody was making money. But then in the 90s, the early 90s, the bubble popped. Is what they say, the bubble popped over here, and money was worthless. Like it was worthless is a strong word, but yeah, it was really shit here
Hmm.
for a really long time, and like that's how you can meet people that are homeless now that used to be CEOs
Yeah,
of companies. Yeah, here in Japan,
absolutely.
all over the place. And there's people that are still financially recovering from that, like companies, I guess, more so. And you see that all over the place. So now you don't. whenever they talk about like bubbles or they talk about like risks, a lot of people don't take those financial risks here in Japan because of the imprint that the pop of the bubble had. And
Mm-hmm.
I think, I mean, even we could see that as young men in America with the depression, with the elderly. A lot of
Yeah.
them, they impacted us, or our parents at least, with tales of the depression across America. And Japan just had a different thing going on. They had a bubble. They had a depression, that was way sooner. I think that's a big reason why families only have one kid or two kids. Uh, a lot of men and women don't get married. Things like that is all stemming from that bubble pop. And I hope that these things aren't like the future for America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it seems like we're on that track, right?
Yeah. I mean, the Fed is just pumping out money, man. They're printing the most amount of money. 20%, or no, was it 20% of the new bills, or 20% of the of the bills in the United States was made in 2020.
Whew.
That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
Of
God
all
damn.
the bills, dude, like 20%. I'll have to look up that just to like fact check shit, but
Isn't
like,
that fucking scary? That's fucking
dude,
terrifying.
our money is not worth like this fiat shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. They just keep pumping it out. You can't do that. I get it. Like, yeah, we're in an economic hardship because
Mm-hmm.
of COVID, but when you do stuff like this, you're gonna fuck over the guys at the bottom
Mm-hmm.
hard. Like, we're gonna be paying $10 for milk. Like, our money's not gonna mean shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be really rough.
Mhm.
You got to remember too that somebody sent me this the other day, so it's not just me coming up with this off the top of my head. But remember, uh, I guess don't remember. So whenever the last time, I guess we got in a big conflict, WW2, uh, metal was in a shortage,
Yeah.
coins in a shortage, a fiat currency. So like, you know, printing off more money than we ever needed to.
Mhm.
You know, all these things were happening, and then anti blah 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 sentiment, you know, boiling over. I think, you know, step by step, we're creeping closer to a very bad situation.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a certain group of people that want to censor everybody and
Oh,
silence everybody, when pretty sure my grandpa fought to keep our rights, right to bear arms, free speech, all these essential rights. It's like you don't even get like I don't get where their mentality is, man, because so many people have died fighting for this shit, and you just think you can just take that shit away because you're an online warrior or something. Like, you don't even know what it's like to be in a fucking war when, like, I don't know, man. I just want to. I do, and I don't want these people to like get into war and realize what the fuck it is to fight for rights because you don't fucking get it. I don't even get it, but I do. You know what I mean? I haven't been in the shoes where I'm on the front lines fighting to keep our rights, but I understand, but I can't
well,
say that
yeah.
I can't say that I fully you know fully have an understanding of it. I do and I don't because I've not
Well,
been in the shoes. Like I have a, you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, if you
Yeah.
think about this, America is the only place that has absolute freedom of speech. Okay? And for example, here in Japan, hate speech is actually a crime. So if I go out there yelling about like this group is bad, this group should be extinct, deleted, right? Then I would get arrested and put in jail. I don't know exactly the consequences.
Yeah.
Lane's in Germany right now. That country, they have a lot of laws against anti-Semitism. You know, I mean, I guess they're making up for it, from other things. But you know,
Oh shit.
whatever. Now, I don't agree that those are good things, but I agree with the right to have free speech and your right to say them. Unfortunately, whenever you advocate for free speech, you advocate for all speech, right?
Yeah. And what's wrong
And
with having the crowd take care of those people? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, go ahead, say whatever the fuck you want, but trust me, we already see online how people get treated if you talk stupid. Like, if you're gonna
mm-hmm,
talk stupid, by all means, I don't give a fuck because that's not me. That's you. You are the one that has to deal with the online repercussions of getting fucking harassed and being like, if you want to play games, go ahead. Let the system take care of itself. Like, don't try to force censorship because that is how if you we know this. Anytime you try to restrict anything, people want it more. Look at the drug war or the war on drugs. Did that fucking work? Absolutely not. The prohibition, did that work? Absolutely not. So when you take away people's rights, it ain't fucking gonna work. It's not gonna work. Just let the system take care of itself.
100%. The way you beat hate speech, bad speech, whatever you want to say, is just better speech, obviously. I mean, how many times have you been online? This goes for a lot of people, not just, you or me. Is whenever somebody says something that you don't agree with, you fight them on it, right? And you provide facts, evidence, something that is, you know, hard line. Like people won't dispute it, right?
Hmm.
You can't argue with XYZ.
Hmm.
That defeats their bad ideology every single time, I think.
Yeah.
So if we practice that as a society more than we practice silencing somebody, then I think everybody wins in the end. We get rid of those ideas, those bad, harmful ideas, and we bring in newer ideas in a peaceful way, like a more constructive way, where we don't have to hurt anybody, I guess, legally. Yeah.
Yeah. The issue is that arises with that is whenever people like you and I come up with a rational conclusion and then it gets taken down because it's hate speech or something. It's like how can we have a dialogue? How can we have a conversation with the opposite side? It's always division, divide and conquer. That's all it is. You don't have any middle ground. You can never come to an agreement like ever. And it shows. And it I don't know if you guys watched the Joe Rogan Alex Jones podcast, but
Oh,
dude,
yeah, I've done that.
that
The problem, and like people have said this a lot about with like racism in America, and like prominent African American people have gone on said and been like, we need to stop talking about it. Like the fact that we're always saying like, oh, white people are super racist, and there's like this huge problem is like that's not going to help stop it. Like, yeah, put in the problems, put forth the problems, but like constantly like berating people, like anything you say, that's racist. I can't believe you said that. It's like that's just talking, man.
Can't
Like
stand that shit.
it's like if I'm making jokes with my buddies on like fucking Xbox and you're just gonna call me out, I'm like, I'm talking to a bunch of white dudes and calling them names, you know, saying they're stupid and shit like that. Like we're just joking around with some dudes, you know, our friend group being friends, you know, and I can't remember the exact quote. It was it was something about Black History Month. It was like an interview with like Morgan Freeman, and
Oh, I've seen that.
he was like, hey, do you want a White History Month? He's like, well, I'm Jewish. He's like, well, do you want a Jewish History Month? He's like, no. He's like, neither do I. Like that's kind of the thing. Like Black History Month, it's segregated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still segregated.
And then a lot of shit. Can't remember his name right off the bat, but really good guy. He's a black man that he's not trying to convert people out of the Klan, but he does it anyways. Can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Davis.
Yeah, Daryl Davis.
Daryl Davis.
Even he's like, we don't need a Black History Month because that means only that month you're going to learn about black people. We need to, spread it out amongst everything, and then you actually learn the right thing, and you don't.
Why don't we have a
confuse
unity
Rosa
month?
Parks with
Why don't we have a
fucking-
unity month
I like that better. Yeah, Unity Month.
instead
my
of a
God. I feel like
instead
we
of
need-
a yeah, like, hey, let's all just fucking what the fuck? What's so bad about that? Why can't we just have that? Why don't we just
Yeah.
make that an official thing so we can remember that we are the United States, not the divided states of America.
I think we need a unity month for sure. You fucking hit that right on the head, man.
Yep.
I mean, I was just watching that crazy ass podcast with Joe Rogan and Alex Jones, and Joe Rogan was saying he's saying like we have been more divided now than ever before in my lifetime.
Yeah.
That dude's like in his 50s, so
Yeah.
fuck, he knows he's got a span. I'm just saying
Yeah, for
compared to
sure.
me, he's got a span.
Yeah, he was saying how 10 years ago, if you would have told him, oh, I can see a fucking civil war coming, he would have laughed it off. But if you said it right now, he would have he'd say, yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, I can see it. That's how divided we are. So,
Yeah.
And
That's-
one
that's
thing that
what's
I've
up.
always thought was like really interesting and kind of comical about the situation we're in is that you'll have all these people that live in America, and they'll say, we need to stop immigration. We need to close all of our borders. But they forget that they were not here to begin with. They were
okay,
immigrants.
Jed, but here's where I understand.
Okay, illegal
So-
immigration is a problem. I will agree with that.
Okay.
They should go through
No,
the proper channel.
well-
But like, they'll say that we can't take in refugees, religious refugees from other countries and shit. And it's like, that's what you were. That's what your ancestors were, bud.
Yeah,
They were
I'll agree with that
Protestants that fled
100%.
the
I
English.
support that. Yes.
Yeah,
Jed.
You know?
I don't think anybody I don't think there's anybody out there that would be like, you know what, we don't really like Catholic refugees. Fuck that. Whenever they're coming from fucking Istanbul, fuck those people. No, there's nobody out there, reasonable people, that are saying that. I think the big issue is only with illegal immigration. Like, three of us right here, we come from, we're slightly different, we're slightly the same. And we all agree, I would say, that immigration is okay and a good thing for America, but illegal immigration is a very strong problem.
That's true.
Okay.
Well, it's where I like kind of see the immigration shit. Like, I don't give a fuck if you come here legally, but with the whole like, we shouldn't have borders. Those people, this is what I say to them, right? Like, oh, we shouldn't have. It's racist. I've heard this before. It's racist to have borders and to be countries. Like, it's so racist, whatever. I'm like, okay, first off, doesn't make fucking sense because this is the way I explain it to them. or would explain it to him had I even met a person like this. So like Canada, they have no ARs, right? You want an assault rifle? Yeah? Well, guess what? If you have no borders and Canada merges with us and all their legislators work with our legislators, guess what? It's not the United States anymore. And guess what? You don't have ARs. Same thing with Mexico. It's like, do you want fucking, I don't know, drugs? Fucking galore? Like, because that's the fucking cartel runs Mexico. Everybody knows this. So it's like, do you want that to be United States? Like, if no borders, shit like that, like, that's what you're gonna get. This one world government shit, never gonna never gonna fly.
Family.
One world.
Trust your heart. Let fate
Dude, I want to watch Tarzan now. I saw somebody did something on Facebook. Sorry to like totally derail the situation. It's getting too heavy for me, boys. It's getting way too heavy for me.
Yeah, we're
gotta
getting,
lighten
we're
things
getting
up.
pretty
Jed's-
deep in the weeds.
But no, somebody posted on
Jed's getting
Facebook was
deep
like,
in the
hey,
weeds.
no, I can't. Nah, man, can't do it. It's not legal here. But anyway, I don't get drug tested at work, so no can do. But anyway, no, somebody posted on Facebook and they're like, hey, what was you just? It was like a link, you know. It was like, hey, use this link to find out what was the #1 box office movie when you were born, and then put in like the tagline. Mine ended up being like 101 Dalmatians, but there was one that was like Tarzan, and I read that and I was like, fuck, it's been a while since I've watched Tarzan, and it's such a fun fucking movie. And you know, like we were saying in a earlier podcast, Phil Collins knocked that fucking soundtrack out of the park.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Strangers
sure.
Like Me gets me every time. Because women are fucking strange.
People are strange when you're dude. So we were talking about Alex Jones, right?
Here we go again.
Dude, crazy fucking
Back in the weeds.
podcast.
Back on the-
Crazy
back-
fucking
back-
podcast.
down.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, grab onto your balls and hold tight because that was
Dude, what I
fucking
found
nuts.
super prominent was the fact checking. Like if you watched any other JRE, especially with Alex Jones, you would never have this many fact check. And I truly believe it's the Spotify deal. Because you guys know what's going on with like Joe and Spotify and shit.
Yeah, we
right?
talked about it before. Like,
Yeah,
that
we
big
talked-
deal.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the audio got cut out a little bit.
It did.
Unfortunately,
It definitely got
These-
cut out.
these motherfuckers.
This will
They're
probably get
censoring
cut out
us.
too.
They're censoring
Oh.
us.
Oh
Ah!
no! Yeah,
But,
goddamn Google China.
Yeah, dude, fucking every time he wouldn't even. So I found it so distracting that he would stop him after everything. He'd be like, "Okay, but wait, Jamie, look that up." And it's just like, dude, you just killed the vibe. And then they would spend 20 minutes arguing about what he said and the poll and like if the statistics right. And then you would get so sidetracked, you'd like in your head you'd be like, well, what are we even talking about anymore?
Right.
It was so distracting. I was like,
But-
why are you stopping him all the time and fucking fact checking like your little fucking Spotify overlords are telling you to do? Also, you want to hear about a fucking conspiracy? Jed, put that fucking hat on. If you go towards the end at like 2:49 or some shit,
Everybody
2
says
hours
this.
49 minutes, there's the earpiece. Did you hear that? Like when he like was laughing and he was adjusting this, and then there was a voice that said, "Don't worry, we're here." And it didn't come from Joe, didn't come from Jamie, didn't come from Tim Dillon, it didn't come from Alex Jones. This was a female voice outside. It said, "Don't worry, we're here." And at first
That's
it sounded
so
like
fucking weird.
Joe Rogan, dude. Yeah, at first it sounded like Joe Rogan, and I was like, "Oh, okay." It was
Yeah,
just Joe
I know exactly
telling
what you're
Alex.
talking about. I was like, what the fuck?
Did you go back
Like,
and listen? Because a
yeah,
lot of people.
a couple times.
Yeah.
Because like all throughout the comment section is like the biggest conspiracy on this show right now is like this.
Yeah.
2 hours 40, 3 minutes or something. I don't know.
47 or 49, something
Hey,
like that.
man,
I don't
Boys,
even know.
I'm gonna look that up.
Maybe he
But-
did it on purpose.
Ah, that would be a mind fuck.
That's
Then I
that's
don't
some Joe
wanna
Rogan
listen.
shit, though.
I don't want to listen to Joe Rogan anymore. He's sold out.
He sold out for sure.
Spotify got. This is what happens when you make a deal with the devil. before he had a Spotify deal. If you go back and listen to the other Alex Jones stuff, it's fucking awesome. You let Alex Jones do his thing. He goes. He's off the hook, right? He's fucking pounding through. He's a dog unchained, right? But then you look at this one and it's so doctored up with. It's just unorganic. It's like, hold on, wait a second, Jamie, can you look that up? And then they just read it, and it's just like, yo, I'm not like, this is a waste of my Alex Jones time. Sorry, but I'm here for Alex Jones. I'm not here to sit here and look at everything. And most of the shit that he said was right. Most of the shit that he said was like straight up right on the money. And some of the things Joe was just knocking him for, he was like, yeah, that's not actually what it says here. But like that's literally what it said. It's like, Joe, what are you doing, man? Like
I don't like. I mean, some of the stuff you had to like read. If you read it, then paraphrasing, you would get to those.
Paraphrased. It was paraphrased, but the way Joe said it, he was like, no, that's not it at all.
You can't quote somebody, Alex.
Yeah, he was like Whitmer, Governor Whitmer. When what did he say about her? He said, oh, if you want. She said, are you tired of lockdowns? Are you tired of blah blah blah? This is why you need to vote for Joe Biden. And then Alex Jones was like, yeah, she's saying that it ain't gonna stop until Joe Biden, unless you vote for Joe Biden. And Joe Rogan's like, nah, that's not it at all. But I can see you guys are clearly not listening, both of you.
No, I'm listening. I wanna pull up some stuff before we get away from it. So
yeah, sorry, there's a dumpster truck outside clanging around. I didn't want to bother you guys with that. My bad.
Yeah, I think here Joe Rogan said something like 80% of what Alex Jones said was true, undisputed facts. So, I mean, 80%. I would argue that if you read between the lines in some of those things, or like paraphrased some of those things, it would be way, way higher. Like 90 percentile range. Maybe he got something confused in those other things,
off his head.
Is crazy.
He spits from his head. He doesn't. He has the documents to back up what he says, right? Because he does his fucking homework. He's done his homework for 25 years. He's done his homework for 30 years.
He's always reading these articles, going through them.
That's all he does, yeah. And to think that he's spitting off the dome. When you spit off the dome, sometimes you don't get everything aligned right, which you know.
I'm guilty of, for sure.
Dude, I don't know. Half the time when I'm talking, I fuck up. I can't even talk right, dude.
Yeah. I fuck up lyrics. I fuck up, all that sort of shit. Something I do 100 times, I got to do it 101 before I'm really sure about myself,
Yeah.
At the same time, so this bro, Alex Jones, there's something towards the end of that podcast that like really humanized him, and I think it took away from.
Oh man, yeah.
Like I took away from it a lot more maybe than they were intending. Is Joe wanted to talk about Alex's Adderall prescription? He was taking a lot of Adderall, which is.
Yeah.
I mean, even Jed knows that's basically.
He wanted him to get healthy.
Yeah, and like stop drinking so much, like. As he got shit-faced on that podcast.
Yeah, and well, that kind of did touch me in a way, because I was like, he was talking about how he's got these chipmunk fucking jaws that he like he grinds and shit, because he's always just all he does is like think and report and think and report and think and report and just goes and does his research. That's all he does. So to like dispute what he's saying is a slap in the fucking face from anyone who says it. You know what I mean? Anyone who's like, oh, that guy's a fucking quack. It's like, dude, no, this motherfucker's been doing this for how long? And then anytime they take a swat at him, like he said, it just he wants to quit, but anytime they take a swat at him, it's like they think that it's gonna make him bow down to him or something, but it just drives him even more to like, okay, fuck you. You want to swat at me? I'll just keep doing more research and more research and more research and fuck you
It's
and
like a
fuck you.
fucking hornet, yeah.
Yeah, and he's not gonna stop.
You
So it's
swat at a
like,
hornet, it's gonna come at you even harder
yeah,
Yeah.
every
it
time.
kind of humanized him at the end. I was like, fuck. He's like, Joe, I want to quit. He's like, I want to retire. I want to spend some time, but I can't because part of me wants to, part of me I can't because I've been doing this for so long. It's like, fuck, dude. Plus, it's like he's the guy, He's the guy. You think of Alex Jones, you think of the guy he's the Bohemian Grove, dude.
Yeah, Bohemian Grove, fucking, 9/11. He had some shit on that before everybody else did. And a lot of it is not even his fault. Like I wouldn't say all of it's his fault whenever he's inaccurate. It's just like I'm reading something, I'm reporting it, kind of thing. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not going through all these fact checks before he hits it. I kind of get that. At the same time, I feel like he's just as accurate as the fucking news most of the time.
So, like, what is Bohemian Grove?
So it's
Okay, Mark.
No, I'm fucking
basically
with you.
it's this in the 70s, I think it was, they had this who founded it? Was it Mark Twain or something? So the Mark Twain
I think
anyways,
that's what they said. It was like a Mark Twain founded it. It was kind of like a liberal
it was a
getaway.
liberal getaway. It was a time to fuck dudes and not give a shit, right? Anyways,
That's what Alex Jones said. So,
yeah.
I mean,
Well, Richard Nixon too, but
maybe that's what's going on. Yeah,
yeah.
Richard Nixon said it was a big old homo event.
It was a faggy fest or the biggest fucking fag fest you ever seen. That's what he said.
Why did he say that? God.
I don't know.
Oh,
But anyways,
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean,
uh,
different times, different people. I mean, look
yeah,
at
but he was the president, and he got
yeah.
impeached. So fuck him.
Oh, Marx was a racist, and we just we glance over that too. So whatever.
Um, shit, what was I saying? Oh, so basically, it started out. You could invite a few people, and then it just grew to being more selective. And then all the Fortune 500 people would go there, and the president would go there, and all these top people would go there, and it would be exclusive just them. And according to, it has to do with, I guess when Alex Jones uncovered it, because there was talks of it. He like snuck in there, videotaped it, and they were burning an effigy of like a child basically, and so they see Mark, and so they were burning like an effigy to this owl person, Elock or Emok or whatever. Anyways, it had to do with this like Tyne, fucking type of religion type of shit. It mixed a bunch of religions together, so it wasn't like exactly. It had to do with like Babylonian shit, and basically it was like a cult. And so once Alex Jones snuck in and took a video, he basically released it saying like, look at all of our world leaders. They come here, they worship a fucking owl god, and they're poisoning the water, poisoning the they're plotting against us, right? They're here to make certain decisions for the whole world to trickle down into the the streets of your neighborhood and shit like that. But yeah, you're just gonna have to like look it up yourself. I know a little bit about it.
I'm looking it up right now, actually. Found out that they actually did a little bit of Manhattan Project planning there, which is kind of cool. But that was also, 60 years ago. So, I mean, what it is now is probably a little bit different. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna do some more reading on this. This looks very interesting.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, I guess. I think a lot of it is not just like I'm gonna play devil's advocate, like oh maybe they're devil worshipping, gay sex everywhere, licking each other's, buttholes. I don't really know. I don't care to know, but I think maybe some of it might be these people have to be 24/7 like proper upstanding citizens kind of thing. They're always in the public eye. Whenever they get away from everybody, it goes fucking haywire. Like they go balls to the wall, crazy, start fucking dudes, start burning shit, praising, like they probably, I say probably, I'm pretty sure they don't believe in this owl god, but they're like, fuck yeah, we're getting crazy, fucking burn it, woo, you know. I mean, maybe that's the case. I know they put on plays, they run around naked. Jed can clarify this. Theater
Yeah.
people rarely have clothes on. I mean, come on.
Okay,
There's so many.
Hold on now. We almost always have clothes on. We're just not against taking them off. Okay.
Oh,
There's a big
okay.
difference there. We're very proud of our clothing and our costumes, but we also have a firm appreciation for the human body, okay? Changing rooms are generally unisex, okay? And you just kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
It's and it comes down to like I don't want to get into like theater theory and like, performance theory, but like that's what we have, The best shows are the ones with zero props, no costume, you come in like whatever clothes you have on for the fucking day and you just perform as a person instead of a really embellished character. That's I'd say you get the best, conversion to like your audience of like feeling and emotion and meaning is just a person talking to a person presenting a life as it is.
So maybe out there in Bohemian Grove, they are the fucking creme de la creme actors, butt ass naked on stage doing these performances.
No,
Maybe. I don't
honestly,
know. Whatever they want to do is up to them. I think maybe that might have something to do with it, but at the same time, there's too much mystery to it, and it brings upon like a very
so reading
je ne sais
into
quoi.
it,
Like
reading
I
into it
don't
just
know,
now.
like attitude vibe that everybody wants to know this secret, kind of thing. So we
Yeah.
all speculate, we all guess. But even at the same time, what we do know is so outrageous that we even speculate further outrageous accusations and things like that.
Yeah, reading into it and like listening to you guys talk about it, I would say it's less like an actors guild. I'd say it's less like that and more like a fraternity.
Well,
Because
so
because that's
they
kind
were
of what it seems like they're doing. They're having like, all gentlemen's club, they're keeping their secrets to themselves and it just sounds like it's guys hanging out,
well,
sharing
little-
their
A
what
little
happens at a Jed?
I'm not allowed to tell you.
bit. Exactly.
Yeah, see? Exactly. So
That's
so
what I'm
it
saying.
is, it's like it's a big fucking club and it's like they get so they talked about it like you get dirt on people so that way, if they step out of line, well, they won't want to step out of line first off because you have the dirt on them, and if they do, then you release the dirt that you got on them. And it's like it was talking about like how it was in reference to like the gay people that would just go there and fuck each other or whatever. Well, it had to do with, I guess, Alex Jones was talking about it, how it had to do with like, okay, you could not actually be gay, but if you wanted to be a part of the club, you would have to like take a dick up your ass because it was basically saying, yes, you are in charge. It's basically like, and the guy's not even gay, but it's a way of like,
Power.
you've heard about like weird frat shit where like people do gay shit all the time, like fuck a goat or like fuck each other or whatever the fuck or suck a dick.
I can't speak to other fraternities, but within mine, That did not happen.
Okay, Jed. Whatever.
Okay.
Keep your secrets.
I
Anyways.
okay. He can keep some secrets, but I know some people that haven't been able to keep secrets, and they'll talk about how, they went through Hell Week, and at the end of it, they had to eat this bucket of ice cream. Everybody's treating them to this bucket of ice cream. At the end of that big ass bucket of ice cream, there's a DVD. That DVD had video evidence of every single fraternity brother jizzing in that bucket of ice cream. Ski skeet, motherfucker, you just ate some jizz ice cream.
Yeah, dude. Fuck
So
that shit.
these things maybe, that's pretty fucked up. Gay, not gay, lines are blurred, rules
Yeah.
of the road kind of shit,
Yeah.
So
My thing is like
what's
I
going
can't really
on?
speak to most fraternities too, because like I went to a private school, and like yeah, it was a big fraternity, but like every location has their own traditions and processes. So you know my Phi Kappa Sigma recruitment could be very different from like a state school's Phi Kappa Sigma recruitment. Like what I went through, honestly, I was disappointed. I thought I was gonna get hazed a lot more. I went through it. And I was like, this is it.
I heard
Cool.
okay, that's not the only thing I heard about. I heard about
Oh
that, and
yeah,
then
I
I
know.
heard about like I don't Teak. I think it's the Teak fraternity.
Wait. Tau Kappa Epsilon,
Sure.
the one that John F. Kennedy was a member of.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
they
they were at
made
my
you
school
take
too.
care of
They
a
were
puppy.
wild.
Yeah, they made you take care of a puppy and then kill it at the end to get in, kind of thing. Strangle it
That's
to
some
death. Yeah,
didn't happen
that's
at
some
my
fucked
school,
up
but
shit.
maybe. I will say this: there was one school. There was a fraternity and a sorority that both got banned because they were like it's like we all have like fraternities and sororities, and like there's like a sister sorority for every fraternity.
Yeah.
They're not like together, but they're kind of associated together. So like ours was the K5s, but the SIGs, can't remember what their Greek letters were. Everybody just called them the SIGs, and their sister sorority both got banned because they would pledge like in unison, and if you wanted to pledge the sorority, you had to give every active member of the fraternity a blowjob, and if you wanted to pledge the fraternity, the last thing you did at the end of Hell Week was you got in a circle with all of your pledge brothers, and they'd put a biscuit in the middle of you, and you'd all
Ooh.
jack off onto that biscuit, and
Ooh.
the last one to come had to eat it. So they got
Oh no.
banned. So they got kicked off campus because that's some fucked up shit. Yeah,
Oh
Damn, dude.
god. That's
yeah,
fucked up.
fucking wild.
See, now we are talking about maybe we don't know. Maybe our high-ranking politicians, our CEOs of XYZ companies, are, you know, playwrights. I don't know.
Maybe
Are
they're
Funny.
soggy
getting out there
waffling
in the
it out in
woods,
California.
getting at it at each other, just doing crazy shit, and we're a little worried because what if they bring whatever biscuit they've eaten out to the world and they're making the rest of us, abide by some sort of
Take
goofy
a
rule
bite.
or
They're
like
making the rest of us
some
take a bite.
sleight of hand, ha ha ha, inside joke shit whenever somebody makes, turkey explode. I don't know. Okay, so it seems like we've really hit a hot topic, hot wall, and we need to cool down like ice. So, glacier time. Jed, we've
What's
noticed your background's a little different than usual. Tell us
Yeah,
about
man.
the
Take a look.
setup.
New place. New place. I'm in a bedroom. I'm actually in a bedroom. I'm not in a studio apartment. I'm in a bedroom right now because I have a new one-bedroom apartment. Thin walls. Thin walls. I heard my neighbor coming into their door last night. Thought somebody was breaking into my apartment, and I was like, the fuck? But it wasn't. It was just the person next door. It was just super fucking loud for some reason. Earlier, heard a toilet flush. Freaked me out. That was loud as hell. Speaking of toilets flushing, check this out. That's my bathroom. This is my toilet.
That's
Now I
That
know
funny.
I
sounds
heard it.
strong.
It it sucked me down, I'm sure. But no,
Jesus
it's
Christ,
it's
man.
all right. It's like I said, it's a 1 bedroom, so it's bigger than my last place for the same price. So that's cool. I just don't like the layout. Like having to go through my bedroom for the bathroom. It's just annoying.
Probably get used to it.
I will. Yeah, I will. It's just like, guests are gonna have to go through my bedroom, see all my unmentionables, just go to the bathroom.
Shit.
And it's like, and the problem with apartment living is that when they fix shit between tenants, they don't actually fix shit. They just paint over it. So like, my medicine cabinet in my bathroom won't close because there's so many fucking layers of paint on it that it doesn't have enough room anymore. My the chain on my door, like it has a deadbolt, no door lock, just a deadbolt, and then like a chain. Chain won't go in the track anymore because there's so much fucking paint on that. It's just annoying to see how much they don't actually fix your shit, and I can only imagine how much of the security deposit the previous tenant didn't get back. That they were like, oh yeah, we'll have to fix this, and then they just painted over it. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Seen that, done that
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah. That toilet though, that sounds like you better be careful. You don't get sucked in.
Yeah, I can't flush it while I'm on it.
Yeah.
Or actually,
Yeah,
maybe I should. Maybe I should get a nice good seal and then just flush, and it'll just all the shit out of my body.
Jed
and my lower
loses
intestine.
5 pounds in 2 minutes.
It's like that. It's like that fucking scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, The Last Crusade. Yeah, The Last Crusade. When the old man touches the wrong cup and then he just ages like instantly
Exactly, that'll be Jed. Turns into jerky.
on the toilet. Yeah, just sucks me dry.
Shit. Well, fucking yeah, man. You better be careful. Well, if you clog that toilet, you better go to the hospital because you obviously know there's something terribly wrong with you.
Well, I feel like if I clogged the toilet, like whatever I could possibly do to clog the toilet, it probably wouldn't be able to come out of me. It'd probably clog me before it could clog the toilet.
Exactly. Well,
I mean, this is Wisconsin. I do eat a lot of cheese, so maybe.
That's why they're so strong. Is those
Yeah.
they're used to a high cheese diet.
Yeah.
These apartments are.
Also, do you guys like how I put the tapestry over a window so as the sun comes up it gets lighter and lighter?
Oh,
I thought that was a pretty
I didn't
cool
even
little
know there was
effect.
a window at first. Yeah, I get you.
Exactly,
Nice.
yeah.
Look
When
at
you go back to watch the podcast, I know you both come back and watch the podcasts. Just watch my tapestry; it'll slowly glow.
Absolutely not. But yes. No, there was like just like 2 times I was like, hey, you know what? I want to see exactly what I was here because I'm not entirely sure what I said. I was like, oh God, oh.
Right.
But
I
yeah,
go back
no, I
and
was
like
good.
when I do the topics, I like pay attention to like how I sound, and then I try to like tweak my microphone a little bit to make it sound better, or like I get closer and farther away depending on like how loud it was and if it sounded like me or not. And I always leave myself like little like wink at myself and see if I can catch it when I'm watching it back, stuff like that. But lost my train of thought.
No, that's
Do you guys always feel like tired as fuck?
No, I've actually been feeling like really good lately. Now that I'm on day shift again for work, I feel like a lot better than I was when I was on night shift.
Good.
Tired of your shit though.
Oh, I'm so fucking tired.
Crazy thing. So, you guys know, but our listeners don't. I had the last like 3 days off of work. Well, more like 6 days. And then I had to get a COVID test because one of my coworkers got COVID. So that was he got the Rona. Yeah. So that was wonderful. But they put like a big time period in between us like getting the test, like a quick test, all that shit. I was like, okay, whatever. But we had to sit at home, do nothing. I actually had the longest sleep I've had in like 2 years. I slept for 13 hours straight. I was fucking. I woke up. I felt like I could stay awake for days, weeks, even, man. It was crazy. I felt great. It was the longest time I had slept in like fucking at least 3 years, maybe even longer.
Yeah, man. Once you get like a good solid like 10 plus hours, you're just like, oh, needed that so much. I feel that, dude. Especially like right now, because like I went to bed at midnight last night because I was up late like moving, and then I was so exhausted that all I wanted to do, I didn't even want to sleep. I just wanted to like relax and like watch some YouTube. So I was up until like midnight, and I was like, fuck, gotta wake up at 5 o'clock for the podcast. And then woke up at 6 and like, why the fuck did my expensive alarm clock that I got specifically to wake me up no matter what? It has a bed shaker. Has like a little circle pad that like shakes my whole fucking bed to wake me up. Along with a 90 decibel alarm, which is so fucking loud, especially in a small room like this with decent acoustics.
Yeah, is that a dog?
Because what? I hear a dog.
Yeah,
Not on my
so
end.
do I.
Mark, do you have a dog you gotta
that's
tell me
me.
about?
Sorry about that's me.
You have a
Let me
you have a
go.
dog?
Let me go take care of that. Keep talking.
Don't. You better not take care of that dog. If he kills that dog, I'm gonna kill him. Don't eat that dog, Mark. There's actually
he's gonna
there's a
chop it
song.
up,
Yeah.
put it in his
There's a
fucking.
song called Trapanese. It's supposed to be like, Japanese trap music. It's actually pretty good. I like it a lot. But the guy at one point says like, if you're trying to bring your dog, then you better bring that cutlery. And then later on he's like, one rest dog in the pound because I stole one. I'm like, dude, stop making all these eating dog jokes. Not today. Not in this bad climate.
My dad, or not my dad, my grandpa in Vietnam would cut dogs loose because the Vietnamese would just fucking eat them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't have the cattle farms that we do.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I think there's a trench. There's a trench in like Texas, like toward Chicago, that like when they were driving cattle north to the slaughter fields in Chicago, there was so much cattle, and they went through that same path so many times. They actually like there's like a huge trench. I can't remember what the fuck it's called, but like because the cattle went over it so much, it just pounded the earth down.
Nice.
I mean, I'm gonna see to look it up real quick.
It's like a cattle glacier.
Kinda, yeah, I just kind of scored the thing. Not cattle grid.
Ozzy Osbourne. Today I woke up and I hate myself. You like that new song?
What song?
The Graveyard, Under the Graveyard, or whatever. It's by Ozzy. Under the graveyard.
Like I still haven't listened to his new stuff.
We are
Man, it's a tasty jam.
alone.
I think it's a song about like because Ozzy's been sober for shit a minute right now. Maybe I bet he's probably been sober for like 6 years, maybe a little bit longer. And it's a song about like the temptations of breaking his sobriety, I think.
I thought it was just him getting ready to fucking kick the can.
I think his song "Ordinary Man" is about that.
Yeah.
I don't want to die an ordinary man. He talks about like, I've made mama cry, I've been higher than the blue sky, but I don't want to die an ordinary man. Well, Ozz Man, I know you listen to every single episode of the Gentleman's Bureau, so you are not dying an ordinary man.
Oh, shit.
What'd you guys cover while I was gone? God damn it.
Not much.
Cattle.
Yeah, cattle drives. Talking about cattle drives. I think it's called the Chisholm Trail. I can't find a good picture of like the trench that it's cut out. Yeah. So
The jizz on the trail. Mark.
Chisholm, like CHISOM, like Chisholm,
Too
something like that.
close.
Yeah, but basically they drove cattle from like Texas to Chicago so much that it like dug a trench because of how many cattle went over it. With like it'd be like herds of like a couple thousand at a time, and they did it so much that it dug a little trench in the ground.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah, until the railroad came, right? And then they got that
Yeah,
all
and then
taken
it
care
started,
of.
and then now we have trucks and shit. Yeah, it's fine now.
Mm-hmm.
But also now we don't need to drive cattle from Texas up to Chicago to be slaughtered. We can just slaughter them in Texas, put it on ice, and ship it anywhere we fucking want. So it's not a big deal anymore. But one thing I wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to like kill you guys' momentum. So GRE, Joe Rogan podcast. I went back and watched some of his older stuff. I was cherry picking the ones that I wanted to watch, like Elon Musk's from 2 years ago, and from like last year, and Neil deGrasse Tyson. And when I was watching one of the Elon Musk ones, talking about like what he can do with Neuralink coming into the future, and how you could like kind of program it to program out like depression and other like mental illnesses and stuff. I thought, wow, what if like bioengineers and geneticists got in their head for some reason to make some kind of chamber that would like you'd go in and it would rewrite your DNA, so it'd be like an avatar creator. So like you'd go in and you'd be like, I want to be 6'3", I want to have a high metabolism, good muscle structure, extra thick bones with carbon fiber weaving so I don't break anything, chiseled jawline, really fucking beak ass nose so I can be like a pelican and attack people with my fucking nose. I don't know, fuck weird shit.
I already have
What
that.
if you could just, right? Yeah, I know. But then you just go in and you hit start, and 35 minutes later you come out and you're Chris Evans from fucking Captain America.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
but
that be
guess
fucking
what?
crazy?
Yeah, but guess what? Then you're next to a bunch of other Chris Evans.
I
Everyone's
know
gonna do it.
exactly. That's why you'd have to do
So
something funky. I'd do something funky, of course.
Big
Honestly, I'd probably
ears
just.
and a big nose and big hands. Well, hopefully.
well,
Make
you can
myself
imagine what else is small.
nah, dude, like 1 foot torso, 5 foot legs, super long arms. I'd look goofy as hell.
Goofy.
Go all out.
Yeah, right.
But then,
If you're
like,
gonna do
you
it,
could go back in and maybe you could change it up, every once in a while.
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? I just go in, make myself like the picturesque, like epitome of man, but then just give myself like massive pair of tits.
I'd like
Just
That'd be
Just to be like, hey man, eyes up here, eyes up here. So like, Vanta Black came out and they used like carbon nanotubes to make the darkest
Oh, yeah,
shade
yeah, I've
of
seen
black ever.
Yeah.
But then this fucking guy, I think his name is like Anish Kapoor or whatever. He decided he was gonna trademark it, copyright it or whatever the fuck he did, so that nobody else can use that shade of black in their art. Nobody. So, to show him what for, some guy, I think he's a French artist, he made the pinkest shade of pink ever. And he made it free for everyone to use except him. He cannot use it. The
Really?
guy that like copyrighted Vanta Black says nobody else could use it. He cannot use it. And if you are found to be like buying it and giving it to him, you can be prosecuted. And like that's fucking hilarious. Like first off, he didn't. The guy that made the copyrighted Vanta Black, he didn't make it. Somebody else made it, and then he took it and copyrighted it for his art, right?
Yeah. Piece of shit.
This guy actually made the pinkest pink just to fuck him over, and I think that's awesome. That's
Here's the
the
thing.
system correcting itself right there.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but he could have came up with a cooler color than pink. That guy could totally be turned
That's
off
your
by
whole
pink.
stick.
No,
Oh,
honestly though, it's a really nice shade of pink. Like if you've seen it, it's a really cool shade of pink. It's very pink.
Send it to me, Jed.
I'll send it to you, man. I'll put it in the chat.
Cool.
All right. So fucking this I think this kind of ties in with our whole if you're a dickhead or if you do hate speech, battle hate speech with better speech, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a dickhead and take the black is black, well, you're not going to be able to use the pink is pink, motherfucker.
They're probably fine with it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us on the Gentleman's Bureau podcast. We absolutely loved having you guys here for us, talking about random bullshit. Anyway, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's the red one that says subscribe. Click it. Make sure you're subscribed so that you know when we post new content. If you really want to be notified as soon as we post new content, ring that bell. Make sure it has those bars next to it, and then you'll get push notifications sent right to your device to let you know that we posted a new video. And if you really want to help us out, if you really care about us and our feelings, hit the like button. Let us know that you liked the video.
Okay,
That way we
Jed.
know that you liked the video, and we'll keep making new videos.
Okay,
We're going to keep going anyway, but like, at least we know that we're doing something right.
You're getting the
Hey,
point.
if you got something you want us to talk
Getting
about,
the point, Jed.
put it in the comments. Put something in the
Hold
comments.
up.
Drop in the comments right there,
Slow down, Jed.
and just say something.
Settle
to
the
Jed,
fuck-
settle down,
Please.
Okay.
Jed. He's
All
getting
What?
wild, Mark.
What?
We need to put him on a leash. I know.
I know.
Hey,
Crazy.
like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.